Welcome to NPH's workshop on voter registration as a community building campaign. I'm Sharon Cornu, the political director for the Nonprofit Housing Association of Northern California. And today we're going to be talking about some of the successful techniques for engaging resident participation, as well as some of the complicated logistics and other issues. Thanks for joining us. So we've learned a lot about supporting TLC voters in the past few years. We've learned that some of the older school appeals to duty or obligation or even partisanship don't work for many voters. And what voters need is information, confidence, and some reminders. And that will really help them participate in the process. We've learned that putting values first, talking about community, talking about participation and being heard, really helps voters complete this rather complicated process and make sure that their votes are counted. As we move through this, we want to be encouraging of all families of mixed eligibility status to encourage everyone to participate as they're able. We want to make sure that people keep their registration updated at their current address and contact information so they're receiving all of the information that helps them make their decisions. And we want to acknowledge some of the challenges that people may have faced in the past, but affirm the opportunities today to participating and to being part of the electoral process and helping to make important decisions at the local, regional, and state levels. So there's something different in voter registration in an affordable housing setting, because the work you do every day is to build stronger, healthier, vibrant communities. We're very different from an election campaign because we're going to be here after the election. We're not going to fly in and fly out. We're here to use some of the best practices that in the field of electoral participation are really being shown to get the best results. That includes offering information, not pushing one point of view or partisanship, but creating a welcoming environment for all perspectives and all points of view so that people see voting as part of being in the community and part of being something that we do in our culture. Many of our resident services coordinators, service providers, and councils are working to incorporate voter registration into a move-in or welcome packet, into ongoing social activities, and we're going to take a look at how those can be successful for you. We're going to start by looking at the California voter registration card. Now, this is available to you on the Secretary of State's website or from your local county registrars. If you work in multiple counties, you may prefer to use the state form so that you don't have to have the right county card for the county you're in that day. If you use the county card and you happen to register people in a different county, it will be forwarded, but voters may experience some delay. So we do recommend the California voter registration card. We also recommend that people think about voter registration as a spring update or a great thing to do early in the summer, early in the year. You don't have to wait until the heat of the fall season to be able to do voter registration. And many of our resident services folks are incorporating it into the welcome kit and the ongoing activities. So, as we move down the long form, you'll see section 1. It asks the voter to check the box that yes, they're a citizen. It asks the voter to use their legal name, not a nickname, and to use the list of titles shown there, Mr., Ms., Miss, Ms., not the honorifics or other types of titles. Sections 2, 3, and 4 are pretty straightforward on the address. In many of our developments, it's important to capture that apartment name accurately, apartment number accurately. And some voters may have a post office box where it's perfectly all right to receive mail. Voters do need to indicate the residential address so they can be properly placed in legislative districts, but they can use a P.O. box to receive the mail. In section 5, you'll be recording the date of birth. Voters who will turn 18 on or before Election Day are eligible to register in advance. Some people find that for youth, creating a voter registration party is a very successful technique. It's a great opportunity to engage the other family members, parents, grandparents, householders, to register everybody who's eligible and celebrate that. For place of birth in Section 6, you include the state where you were born or the country where you were born. And in Section 7, you'll need a driver's license or a California state ID number or the last four of your Social Security number. That allows your county registrar to track registration. Similarly, in Section 8, you'll want to provide the correct contact information, a phone number and an email address if possible. That's going to allow the county clerk's office to contact you if there are any questions about your voter registration card and make sure that you are quickly entered into the voter database and begin receiving information to help you make these important decisions. In Section 9, this is a really critical part. It's important that we don't suggest political parties or joke about suggesting a political party. It's the voter's choice, and it really should be respected. If people are interested in being unaffiliated and not connected to any political party, they choose the bottom box on the right that says decline to state a political party. Don't be confused by any political party with the word independent in the name. It's the decline to state box in the lower right-hand corner. And again, it's important that we're not suggesting political parties. This is the chance for the voter. This is the voter's choice that should be respected. In Section 10, the prior registration information helps the county clerk update the voter record from one location to the next. This will help the voter move their voter history to their new address and improves the likelihood of their receiving important information from campaigns and is a useful piece to fill out. In Section 16, the voter can check to receive information by mail. This is a very popular option. More than half of California voters now choose to vote by mail and receive their ballot 30 days before Election Day. Gives them plenty of time to look up those local measures, research the candidates, and feel confidence in their choices. Under the section labeled optional, similarly, voters can choose the language in which they receive this information. It's a proven technique that offering the information in the language the voter speaks at home improves participation and the response rate. Finally, in this part of the card, you'll see the voter receipt, and this is important. Here's where you sign it as your organizational representative. Include the name of your organization that has completed this voter registration card, date it. You tear that receipt off and give that to the voter. It's got information for them about how to make sure they received their postcard and follow up and their address was accurate. And it's got that red number on it that is the affidavit number that provides the tracking information. Now, who can help people register to vote? Anybody can. You don't have to be a particular age or registered already or a resident of the district in which you're working. You do need to provide that information on the voter receipt that shows the organization you represent, and you do need to make sure that you return their card through the U.S. mail within 72 hours of them signing it. Let's talk about who's eligible to register and to vote. You need to be a citizen of the United States and a resident of California and have turned 18 by Election Day or on Election Day. If you have recently moved, changed your name or your party affiliation, you can re-register. There's no penalty for re-registering. And if you've been in contact with the criminal justice system, you will have received some information about your eligibility to register. It's important to pay attention to that. And if you are currently serving a sentence or on parole for a felony, you will not be eligible to vote. If you're on probation, you are eligible. It's important to check the specific information that you've been given regarding your own status. It's not possible to register your spouse or a family member who's not present. The individual needs to register themselves. But if you missed voting in a primary election, you absolutely can register to vote for the general election. And by the way, if you've missed voting in 1 or 2 elections, your registration will still be active. If you've missed voting for a number of years, you will want to re-register. The deadline for voter registration is 15 days before the election, and the best day to register is today. Let's just review some of the do's and don'ts. On the plus side, it's great to practice your presentation. Be ready to answer the basic questions. Using blue or black ink seems so straightforward, but it's often a problem for the registrar to be able to read the form. It's important that you make sure the voter is eligible and that they sign the form, and that you return that receipt to them and mail their completed forms within 72 hours. On the don't side, don't complete the form for someone unless you're asked to assist. Don't deny the form to anyone who asks for it. Don't correct their information. Don't abbreviate except for the state name. We don't share the voter's information, and we don't suggest affiliation to a particular political party. Now, we've learned a few things about what makes voter registration a fun part of ongoing social activities, and what can help increase voter registration and participation. In 2006, NPH members, including resident services coordinators, service providers, and other staff in affordable homes, increased our voter registration by 19%. It was a really important change. The National Night Out, National Voter Registration Day, bingo, karaoke, Zumba nights were great opportunities for creating a fun atmosphere and having voter registration forms available. Many of our resident services staff were able to invite their local League of Women Voters chapter or their county clerk to come hold a training, or to bring the voting machine out early and let people see the equipment up front. It was a great opportunity, and folks had a lot of fun with that. Again, we did learn that providing the voting material in languages that residents speak at home was really important, and improved participation and confidence. And finally, we're really trying to create a different culture around voting, a culture of participation and inclusion. This is something we do together as part of being our community. We can measure our success by counting the number of voter registration cards, counting the number of activities, counting pledge to vote cards, which you will find on the NPH website. You can download those and print them out. You can count the number of volunteers who carry voter registration forms or reach out to other residents. We found this was a great opportunity for collecting stories about the importance of affordable housing and the difference it makes in people's lives, as well as the importance of voter registration and participation. And finally, this should be a great opportunity to enjoy community and enjoy the people around us. So for more information, please visit the NPH website. Check out your county clerk or registrar of voters websites, and you'll always find great information on the League of Women Voters website. I'm Sharon Cornu. This is the Nonprofit Housing Association of Northern California. We want to thank Faith in Action and the San Francisco Foundation for all of their support, and thank you for the work that you do.